This is Kamva Majo, and I am the author of the story The Mortician's Instinct. The most valuable part of the online mentoring sessions for me has been just interacting with the judges, the writers, the coordinators. I think this is the most I've interacted with other people who write like myself, people who are far ahead of me, and people who are just starting out just like me. So that has been the valuable part for me, is the interaction between writers and other creatives. I think this is the most I've interacted with people who have the same passion as I do. So my writing or creative thinking has changed in a way that I have a certain standard that I uphold for my work, and that is due to the conversations that were happening and just the feedback that we got from the judges, the editors and stuff. I think now I always believe that I can always improve. Definitely, that does not mean that my work is not good or anything, but I think challenging yourself is a good thing as a writer, because you can also produce work that you didn't think it was possible for you to produce, just by challenging yourself and upholding a certain standard for yourself and for your writing. There are plenty, but the one that stands out to me is when we had a meeting about networking and stuff, and they said that you need to be yourself. And I know it's such a cliche, like it sounds easier said than done, especially when you're in a room where you feel like everyone else is more accomplished than you, and you can have that imposter syndrome and stuff. It sounds simple, but it is really true. Like, be yourself and just aim for connection, like human connection, more than like going off of work, I guess. Just try to get to know the other person. Ask questions that you would like to be asked. I really needed that advice when it comes to networking, because as I take on these opportunities as a young writer, I'm learning that it's not entirely about writing the story down. Like, there's more to it, like editing, networking, building those connections that you will benefit from, and other people will benefit from knowing you. It's a win-win situation. I would say, I don't know if editing is part of the mentoring, but I would say editing for me. As a writer that is just starting out, I'm just used to having my own opinion on the story, and especially like I've started really trusting other people with reading my stories just a few years ago. So then now to have the opinion of a professional, it's a challenge. Sometimes dealing with like creative differences here and there, and learning to voice your own opinion and not really be intimidated by the title, you know what I mean, and understanding that it's a collaboration. It's a collaboration, and your voice as a writer still matters. And even if the story is in somebody else's hand, it's still your story, basically. So I think the challenge just in the mentoring in general has shown me that writing is not really a one man's job as it looks. It's only the first step where you're really alone. The other part, you have to collaborate with other people in a way where you understand that their opinions, their expertise matter, but also your voice as a writer still matters, even if it's in the hands of people who are like more professional or like have more expertise than you. I think this goes back to my previous question. Being able as a writer to collaborate with people who have more expertise than you, the editors, the mentors, but also like prioritizing your voice and not shrink and just let others take over your creative idea or creative concept that you had initially. So I think with me, with working with other people, I've gained an understanding that writing is a one man's job, but it's also very collaborative. So you need to master being independent, but also working with other people, being open to ideas, being open to suggestions, but also being able to maintain your voice and not shrink or diminish it because maybe you think that, okay, this person has more expertise than I am, so I must not challenge them. So it's having that balance of like listening to other people, but also understanding that your voice matters, because you don't want to not take suggestions but at the same time you don't want to just shrivel under people. Like, you don't want to let your story die just because you think that your voice doesn't matter anymore because you're working with people who are higher up than you.